Buenos días.
Buenos dias.
¿A dónde estamos?
We are in the capital of Yucatan, Mexico, Mérida.
Where are we going?
We're going to Valladolid.
And how are we going to get there?
We're going to take the new Tren Maya. Tren Maya is a brand new train that connects the 5 states of the Yucatan Peninsula: Tabasco, Campeche, Yucatan, Quintana Roo, and Chiapas. If you've watched our previous videos, you'll know we love to travel by train. We were excited to experience Tren Maya, which only became fully operational in December of 2024.
We're riding in premier class, huh? Is
Sí.
that because nothing but the best for us?
No, it's because Coach was sold out.
Well, it'll be a fun treat.
While their website specifies only 1 carry-on and 1 personal item per passenger, we found that extra and larger bags were allowed. Premier class offers more space with 3 seats per row as opposed to tourist class, which has 4. The train has a typical cafe car. If you're riding in premier class, you receive a beverage and a meal or a snack depending on the length of your trip. There's a restroom at each end of every car. Like the rest of the train, they're kept well maintained by cleaners that pass through often. The seats have plenty of leg room, a tray table, a power outlet, and a footrest. After 3 hours, we arrived at the Valladolid train station.
After about a 15-minute cab ride, we found ourselves in the heart of Valladolid. Like any good Mexican town, life revolves around a plaza anchored by a church. We found this small taqueria and had delicious tortas and tacos before checking out the town. Colorful Calle 41 with its shops and restaurants connects the city's 2 main plazas. Shortly after the Spanish conquest of Mexico, the convent of San Bernardino de Siena was built by Franciscan monks in the mid-16th century. For 150 pesos, or about $7.50, you can visit this historic structure, which is Valladolid's primary attraction. We found the most intriguing part of the convent to be the cistern. It was built over a cenote from which ancient Mayan artifacts have been found, some of which are on display in the museum.
We stayed at the Hotel Cuxtal, which was economical and only a couple of blocks from the Central Plaza. The room was clean and comfortable, and the hotel featured a rooftop pool bar. At night, the Central Plaza buzzes with activity. We stopped several times at this open-air market, which had cheap and delicious food. This was also our first time to try the famous Yucatan marquesita.
Gracias, Batman.
I have the
Traditional marquesita.
Niños. No, papá.
Our next morning started early with a busy itinerary visiting 3 locations. After checking in at Chichen Itza, we were soon met with one of the most iconic sites in all of Mexico and the world, the Temple of Kukulkan, or El Castillo. This is our guide Enrique, who really brings Chichen Itza to life. We highly recommend him. His contact information is listed in the description.
Over time, the sun, humidity, rain, everything damaged the natural pigments, right? Fortunately, our scholars, archaeologists, they found some remnants of the natural pigments in there, on the top of higher and bigger temples on the top. And on that way, for them, that represents powerful, right? And also, yeah. My friends, do you remember when I made you get a bowl for?
Our next stop was the Hubicu cenote. Cenotes are deep natural wells or sinkholes. The Mayans considered them sacred and the home of their water god, Cha'ak. Today, swimming in the chilly but refreshing waters is a unique experience of visiting the Yucatan. After the cenote, we had lunch at Hubicu's restaurant and explored the rest of the grounds.
Our final stop of the day was another Mayan archaeological site, Ek Balam. Set deep in the jungle, it may not be as famous as Chichen Itza, but it's no less beautiful. And because it received so few visitors, you almost feel like you have the place to yourself. Like our Chichen Itza guide Enrique, our guide William was awesome. He brought enthusiasm and expertise to our tour of Ek Balam. We highly recommend him and are including his contact information in the description as well.
floor? Yeah, for sure. Well, back in time, the Mayans in Ek Balam, they had all the floors, all the plazas covered with the stucco, without the trees. As you can see there, there are these trees now.
Oh, wow. All right, we got that big building and we are going to climb it. Let's go. We are at the top, and it's hard to tell, but that was steep and a little bit scary, and it's probably going to be scarier going back down.
We're gonna make it.
On our second and final night in Valladolid, we watched the projection mapping show on the Cathedral of San Gervasio.
Stones shelter ancient ineffable stories, and the rocks which form the temple, those over which we walk. We, the ancestor guardians, who inhabit these sacred temples, guiding the echoing whispers, waiting patiently for the awakening of humanity, for it shall become one in harmony. Remember who we are.
Our final day began with breakfast in the beautiful courtyard of El Atrio.
Este un wake up, which is chaya, orange juice, pineapple,
Honey.
and honey. It sounds a little too sweet for Jen, but want to try it?
Sure.
This is a traditional Mayan breakfast drink, apparently.
Good. It's not too sweet.
Okay. Our entrees have arrived. What do you got there, Jen?
I have chilaquiles with 2 fried eggs on it in green sauce.
We call that the Mexicano, see?
See.
And I have avocado toast, aguacate, and underneath that is a sunny side up egg and a salad.
Our final stop in the town of Valladolid was cenotes aquí. This cenote had more of a fun community atmosphere. If we could do it over, we'd visit earlier so we'd have time to go for a swim. We ended our visit to Zaki with a beverage at their on-site restaurant overlooking the cenote. Hola!
Hola.
We are wrapping up 3 days and 2 nights in the town of Valladolid, and now it's time to rate it and see if we would live here.
It is a charming little town, very beautiful, very nice people, great food. I really liked it. I kind of likened it to a mini Merida, not nearly as bustly, but still a lot of beauty and a lot of the same elements.
It's a very cute little town. We enjoy walking around, looking at the architecture, going to museums, seeing the ruins, visiting Chichen Itza and Ek Balam, and swimming in the cenote.
However, it is very far from the beach, and we are beach people, so our top priority or our ideal town will be close to the water, and this is not. And it is very hot here, even in January. We've been going through a lot of clothes. So while we've really enjoyed ourselves, I think we'd really recommend that people visit it and stay a little while, not just passing through on their way to Chichen Itza. I don't think this is a place that we'd want to live. But if it was near a beach, we probably would, because it's got a lot of charm. Thanks for joining us on this venture. We will be going to our next stop, which will be
Progreso.
and that's a beach town near Merida, so we'll see what happens there. Bye for now.
Hasta luego. If you enjoyed this adventure, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of our travel and wildlife videos.